Hi, it's me again, and I get really confused by the Express newspaper sometimes, because they seem to be anti-TV licence and anti-BBC. They put out more articles about the TV licensing and, people fighting it and stuff like that than any other newspaper does. But then, like last week, I bought you one where it's saying what you can watch without a telly licence. And it was wrong, and it just felt like pro-TV licence propaganda. It's really confusing, but some of the stuff they do put out is quite good. And remember, I brought you a story earlier this week about Mrs. Salt from Wales who was prosecuted. And this article kind of talks a bit further about that because it is a big problem. It mostly targets women. Why? We can discuss that, but it does. Have a look at this headline. Depressed and terrified, BBC licence fee prosecutions criminalise vulnerable Britons. So yeah, as I said, I think what kicked this article off for them was a story. I'll put a link up there, you can find it, that I did about Mrs. Salt, who was really poorly and didn't pay a licence fee. And she got a prosecution for it. She went to court, although she was found guilty in her absence because she couldn't go because she was ill. And they gave her a fine, which she's having to pay out of her pension credits or something. It's ridiculous. But the only way she could have got into trouble was by talking to the people who doorstepped her, or by answering their questions on the phone if they asked her if she watched any BBC stuff like that. It's the only way you can get caught. They can't detect what you're watching. They can't know what you're watching. You have to physically drop yourself in it. And it's normally when one of the enforcement officers knocks on your door. And maybe that's why, women are more prone to this prosecution. But let's have a look. Mrs. Salt was not alone in being convicted of TV licence evasion. In 2020 alone, 52,376 were similarly penalised, and that figure was much lower due to the current health crisis, or previous health crisis now, I guess. The figures show that the majority of those convicted are women, about 3/4, and evasion was the most common offence for which women were convicted in 2019, accounting for 30% of all female convictions in England and Wales. That's mad. That's mad numbers, isn't it? 3/4 of all the convictions for TV licence offences are women. Why? Why? A theory on that could be most of the goons, or TV licence enforcement officers, as they like to call themselves, are men. That's a fact. There are a few women, but they're mostly men. And they try to be as intimidating as possible. Some of them even wear those stupid fake police flak jacket, stab vest things, or they're usually wearing at least a shirt and tie and carrying a clipboard and pretending to be either bailiffs or police or something. They never say that. Well, I think they probably have in the past, but I'm not saying they say that. What I believe is they put that look out because it's intimidating. Now, you open the door and you're a big burly bloke and you see that, you say, who are you? You're not scared of these people, right? But a single mother who's got kids screaming and stuff in there and struggling could be vulnerable and, could be intimidated by it. Think they're bailiffs, think they're police, think they're powers that they don't have. And this is where we need to educate people. We need to do everything we can to reach as many people as possible because it says there the conviction rate is 52,376 people in 2020. Right? That could have been zero if nobody talked to TV licensing. If you just blank them. If when they knock on your door, you open the door and you say, hello, who are you? And say, I'm TV licence. You go, no thanks, and shut the door. Because they don't have any powers of entry. They can't put the foot in the door. They can't keep knocking all day. When you say no, they have to go. It's in their code of conduct. And you can film them on your phone and that if you want. Because when you do that, they have to report that. Because that's also in their code of conduct. And you'll find that you'll get, you won't get harassed by them or anything if you film them. Because they don't like being filmed. So that's also a good way to do it. We need to educate people to not talk to these people. That conviction rate could be zero if nobody talked to these people. They just shut the door in their faces and didn't reply to the letters or anything. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's 3/4 women. Mad, isn't it? Dame Vera Baird QC, the victims commissioner, argues that the law as it stands penalises less well-off women. She told The Independent, I remain concerned that so many women are prosecuted for TV licence evasion. It's an unnecessary conviction serving only to criminalise poverty and disproportionately punish poorer families and women. Things you don't have to be poor to not be paying your TV licence. Right? I'm not exactly minted, but I've got a full-time job and I pay my rent on time and everything, right? And I don't pay for the TV licence, and many of you out there don't. So I could be just as in trouble as a family who are not paying it because they physically can't afford it. The only reason I'm not is because if one knocks on my door and they identify themselves as TV lights, I say I'm going to shut the door and tell them to jog on. That's it. That's all people have to do. You know, the conviction rate could be 0 if you don't talk to these people. And we need to reach as many people as possible. I've done loads of, you know, Facebook campaigns and Twitter campaigns where I've paid quite a few quid now to promote this message. I've done leaflets. I'll bring a video to you about the leaflets soon once I've got round to it. That I'm trying to push the message. If anyone's got any ideas of how better I can push the message to people who still think you have to have a television license and by not paying it they're going to get into trouble, we need to get the message out to them, don't we? So if you've got any ideas on that, do let me know. And you know, I can spend a few quid of the YouTube earnings that I made last year, because I'm not making anything this year. I'll tell you, I don't know what's happened to YouTube, but they've just, no more money. No more money for ChilliJonCarne. It's all over. So I've got bit of last year's money still left that I can spend on a project to reach some more people. So if you've got any ideas, do let me know, yeah? What do you think about this, though? Do you think I'm right as the reason why women are, you know, disproportionately convicted over men for this? Do you think I'm right? You got any other ideas on that? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know your ideas as well. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the channel to grow. As I say, the channel's been really heavily punished by YouTube at the minute. I don't know what's going on, but you know, the more subscribers we can get, maybe we can push through that, I guess. I don't know. So you think about doing that if you haven't already. I'm going to go and make some more videos, which I'll see you in soon. Thanks for watching.